Celebrating 25 years of talk, news, and excellence with our new KCAA app.
Just do it and download it. KCAA, celebrating 25 years.
KCAA Radio, Loma Linda, where no listener is ever left behind.
Hey, welcome everybody. It's the Factor time again. It's 2 o'clock on Saturdays. Cornelius Bryant is still in Italy doing his thing on vacation, so I'm substituting for him as the new host of the show. So next week we'll have the Cool Vets will be on with Mr. Whitehead, and that'll probably be the end of me. So anyway, I'm really excited today because one of the things we're going to be doing today is we're going to be talking about cars, how to buy cars, how to sell cars, and everything there is to know about cars with our special guest, Richard Perry from VIP Auto. But more importantly than that, he's now an author. So if you have any questions about cars, buying, selling, or trading, give us a call at 909-383-1000. That's 909-383-1000. And before we go, I want to promote Richard Perry's book. His book is How to Buy a Car Without Being Taken for a Ride, authored by Richard Perry. Now, Richard is one of these guys, you know, he's not a guy, he's not an academic or a writer. He's a doer, so I was kind of surprised that he was actually producing a book. But in this world that we live in today, everybody seems to be having a book. So you should consider buying the book. The book is available on Amazon. You just go to How to Buy a Car Without Being Taken for a Ride by Richard Perry, and you can buy it on Amazon. Now, why would you want to buy this book on Amazon? You could save up to sometimes as much as $5,000 on the purchase of a car. The other thing is, when you're selling a car, you're going to learn how to increase your value, but also not get scammed. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you our guest, which is Richard Perry, president, owner of VIP Auto, and best-selling author of the How to Buy a Car Without Being Taken for a Ride. And we'll be giving away a couple of these books when you call in. So make sure when you call in and you're done with the call, stay on the line. So Joe, our master of the computer, can take your phone number or your address, and we can send you a book. Well, welcome, Richard. How are you doing this morning?
Doing great, Ken. Hey, it's an honor and a privilege to be here. Thank you very much.
I understand that you were very busy this morning helping somebody complete their car transaction.
That's right. We were quite busy today. We were a little bit short-handed, so I swing by and did a few things there last minute and jumped on the freeway and got out here to meet with you. So again, it's great to be here.
Okay, so let's get right to the issue. So why would you want to write a book? You've been a very successful owner of a dealership. You've been in the car business for how many years?
Over 40 years. So
over 40 years?
Started in 1984.
Aren't you supposed to be retired?
I'd like to be. Yeah, I'm getting close. I'm getting close.
Well, so how did you get into the car business?
Well, it really was by accident. So certainly looked for a job, moved to a town, saw an advertisement for sale. It was a parts counter job. I'd worked in restaurants in Palm Springs and went in to apply for a job. I wore a suit, walked in to get a parts counter job. I was, 19, 20 years old. And that job was just filled. And they said, hey, sorry, you just filled the position. I walked across the showroom floor. I'm wearing a suit. And I thought, maybe I could sell cars. It was literally, that was back then.
Wow.
The guy interviewed me and said, hey, today's Friday. You start Monday at 2 o'clock. Get here at 1 o'clock Monday and you're ready to go. I had no idea what I was doing.
Well, and in fact, you're going to even write another book, a follow-up book, correct, on how to get a job or how to get involved in the automobile.
Yes. That's
Yeah, that's
again
gonna be an
one kind
exciting
of makes you
book,
think of another. It's what happens.
Okay, yeah, that's the next book up. So, in the book, How to Buy a Car Without Being Taken for a Ride, you discuss several things that I'm sort of interested in, and I know a lot of our listeners are interested in. You were talking about actually, most people don't buy a car because of their need. They buy a car because they become fascinated, right? I mean, they don't think about what they really need as a car, right?
Right.
So isn't that the first thing you should
Yeah,
do?
sure. In fact, in the book itself, I have a section about being empowered when buying a car. One is, and also in the back of the book, I have a checklist. Before you leave the house, I have a checklist of what's most important to you, right? And they have little check boxes, and you can keep track of those things. And that way, when you go and look at vehicles, you don't get kind of swayed away and forget of what you were looking for. You got to think
Exactly.
about, yeah.
Because a lot of these cars are really fancy, but they're not practical. Especially these Lamborghinis all these kids are trying to buy online, right? Lambo.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, there's so much
that
to
car
think
is
about.
almost worthless, I think, in terms of transportation.
Okay. Yeah, and of course, in cars like that, depreciate much faster. So we can probably, that's another topic.
Yeah,
too.
we're going to be talking about
Yeah,
depreciation in a minute,
yeah.
but with that Lambo, it has a lot of maintenance issues too, doesn't it?
It is. One is, it's you're limited to where you can go for service.
Right.
You know, and then if you do find someone serving, they don't work on Lamborghini, and you think, okay, well maybe they can work on it. They're afraid to because it's a Lamborghini, right?
That's true.
And it costs, like for example, I have a fun car. I have a Bentley, and it's great, but I very rarely drive it because an oil change is $1,100 for an oil change.
What?
So that's why you want to that's why I keep the miles very low on that car.
Okay, so we're going to be talking a little bit more about the maintenance on cars and purchases and all that kind of thing. So, so as a buyer of a car, you should basically decide what you're going to use the car for, right? The utility of a car first, before you worry about what it looks like.
Right, exactly. You want to know first. Look at your lifestyle. What is it that you? It's a mode of transportation, but then think about what do you do? What do you use the vehicle for? So obviously, if you live up in the mountains, like I have a daughter who lives up in Idlewild, maybe a Lamborghini going down the hill wouldn't be the thing. Maybe a smaller SUV that has four-wheel drive might be the better fit for her, right?
Right,
So
right.
So again, keep track of what your lifestyle is first, and find the vehicle that fits that. Obviously, if you're a parent and you've got 4 or 5 kids, that Lamborghini is not going to work, right? So
Right.
it doesn't have to necessarily be a minivan, but there's other alternatives to look at. But again, that checklist is so important,
Right.
and always, and it's good to look at the new car models, see what features they have. You might find they're also available in other models that are less money.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay. And so if you have any questions, you can give us a call at 909-383-1000. That's 909-383-1000. You can pick Richard's brain right now. I mean, he's the guy. And if you got a question, he's more than happy to address your situation. Now, obviously, everybody's situation is a little bit different, so you may want to have a consultation outside of the radio show here, but he can give you basic general information that will help you. So, so one of the things we want to look at is once you found the right car, how do you find the right dealer for your car?
Okay. Well, there's a lot. Obviously, I would look at reviews. If you're going to go to a dealership, look at reviews. Look at what their track record
I
is.
noticed you have 5-star reviews.
It's hard to keep that, but you got to keep that going. You can't make everybody
Exactly.
happy, but we're going to die trying. Here's the deal. That's the whole idea. We can't make everybody happy, but we will do every effort to do so.
Right.
And it's important. But besides dealerships, you can buy cars private party, online. There's a lot of other resources that we can get to where you can buy vehicles from. But again, you want to make sure that you buy one, again, but without being taken for a ride, about not paying too much, not buying the wrong
And I
vehicle.
want to get into that. But the bottom line is you're the first dealer I've ever heard that says you can buy cars elsewhere.
Sure, you can, and you can also lose a lot by buying elsewhere
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
I'm
we'll
not.
talk about that,
Yeah,
too.
we're not certainly putting that down. I'm just saying know what your alternatives are. And I've got people buy cars private party. I buy cars private party. I
Right.
buy cars off the street. I recondition them, go through them. We go through the checkpoint of everything, and then we put it up for sale. So some of those are my best purchases. So why wouldn't you, as a consumer, try to buy those also?
Right.
I mean, yeah, I do get some cars from auctions, but a big part of them, I buy them from dealerships directly. They're fresh trade-ins, and it gives me a chance to go through them, drive them, check them out, lift them up, and get them serviced before we offer them to the public. And sometimes I buy a bad car. I'll buy quite a few cars. I'll buy some vehicles, and I go through it and find out, oh, wow, I didn't realize I had a cracked block, or I didn't realize these things. So what do? Patch them up. What do? We get rid of them. They go to auctions, they go places, but I won't sell them to the public because I don't want to have to talk to them later.
That's a good point. Because it's the same thing in real estate. Is when there's auctions, the properties are typically not that good. You know what I mean? You think you're getting a good deal, and you say, "Oh, this house is $400,000, and I could buy it for $300,000." But they don't realize that you have a cracked foundation. You have this wrong, that wrong, and it's going to cost you $600,000 to fix everything. Is it the same thing?
Right. As you know, when you buy a house, you have the house inspected. You have an inspector. Same thing with this. We have a checkpoint. We have mechanics go through them, and they bring to my attention what the car needs before we actually offer it for sale.
So if you're going to buy a car from a private party, or even from a dealership, should you have it inspected?
You can. In fact, at dealerships, a lot of people don't really pay attention to what's on the showroom floor. There's a sign there that says you have the right to have the vehicle inspected on or off the premises at your own expense.
Oh.
You can actually ask for that. Hey, I've got a mechanic down the street, friend. You mind if I take it to have a look at it? No problem. It should never be a problem for the dealer to do that.
Right.
If
That's
it is
a law, isn't it?
If it is a problem, then you definitely don't want to buy it there, right?
Right. But they have to make you aware of the fact that you can take it for an inspection.
You have the right. You can bring an inspector with you, or you can take it yourself.
Right.
And then when you buy vehicles like from a dealership, there's they have. If they say it's a certified car, that just means they have a checklist they go through.
Okay.
Not all used car dealerships have a checklist. They can just sell used cars as long as the car's smog. Does it stop? Does it start? Do all the lights work? That's all they care about. But if you buy a certified car, it means there was an actual checklist of these items they went through. And you can actually ask to see that checklist, see what they went through.
You should ask for that checklist.
Should. There's other things you should ask for, too. If you're buying a car, you ask for a Carfax. Ask for an auto check.
What is a Carfax?
Carfax gives you the history of that vehicle.
Yeah, all I see is that
owners and
Fox.
accidents, things like that. You see it, the Fox, right?
Yeah.
So there's that. Then there's another alternative to Carfax. There's a called AutoCheck. I think Experian is the owner of that puts that in.
Okay.
And there's another report we run, for example, when we buy cars.
Right.
I run a Carfax. I run an AutoCheck. And I also run a National Motor Vehicle Title Information Report. I want to know if that car's been to another state and has that title changed. That way you can prevent from buying a car that's had a washed title, totaled in one state and clean in another. And we can find that out in those reports. But again, for me as a dealer, we run those reports because I want to know if the car's good or bad before I buy the car, not after I bought it.
Absolutely. Because the three biggest expenses an average person's going to have, and everybody thinks it's just going to be their mortgage or rent payment. But number one is income tax. You pay more income tax than anything else, then the mortgage, and then your car. And sometimes your car is actually you're going to spend more on that than you are on your mortgage. Because especially if you're a commuter, right?
Yep. And maintenance, right?
Maintenance, yeah.
People think when they buy a car, they buy the car and that's it. Besides fuel, oil change, maintenance, like what you said, and maintaining that vehicle is certainly something to be aware of.
Okay, so
not to mention insurance, right? How about car insurance?
Exactly. Well, and a lot of people, I think they think, well, I'm going to buy it from a third party, and the third party, I'm going to buy it for less. I think it's in your book. It said, buy the car for $5,000, and I'll give you a receipt for $500. So when you register the car.
Oh, gosh. And I've heard some horror stories about that. So absolutely, the reason why you do that private party, people do that to pay less sales tax.
To pay
right?
sales tax.
Pay less sales tax. And I get it. As a dealership, we have to report whatever it is we sold the car for.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. Well, we're going to break for a commercial right now. Man, it's exciting. So if you want to call Richard, give us a call, 909-383-1000, 909-383-1000. Or for you people that don't know 1000, it's 1000. Okay, so 383-1000, 908-383-1000. We'll be right back.
From the community bulletin board right off the kitchen table, it's Slam the Scam by the Yucaipa Police Department. Your cell phone rings, you pick it up, and there is someone on the phone pitching you, trying to get information from you. If it's too good to be true, it is. Stop. Hang up. You have no obligation to be polite. You didn't call them. They called you. Hang up. Come to Slam the Scam this Saturday. Join the Yucaipa Police Department this Saturday at 4 p.m. at the Yucaipa Police Department for an educational event on avoiding scams. Slam the Scam starts at 4 p.m. Saturday at the Yucaipa Police Department on Yucaipa Boulevard next to City Hall. Slam the Scam. And that's a message from the community calendar right off the kitchen table.
Hi, folks. It's Milan Vukovic from the Tahibo Tea Club. We just received our first shipment since the new tariffs, and because our tea is harvested deep in the Brazilian rainforest, we had to pay a 50% import tariff just to release it. Once we run out of our current inventory, prices will go up. Right now, you can still stock up at today's pre-tariff prices by calling us at 818-610-8088. 1 pound of original Pure Pau d'Arco Tahibo tea is $49.95, or take advantage of our multi-pack discounts such as buy 3 pounds, get 1 free. That's a 4-pack discount of 25% for $149.95, or buy 5 pounds, get 3 free. That's an 8-pack discount to 38% for $249.95. Stock up now. Call us at 818-610-8088 or visit TahiboTeaClub.com. That's 818-610-8088.
KCAA, the stations that leave no listener behind. Join KCAA Morning for an extra hour of coffee with Stephanie Miller now from 6 to 8 in the mornings, followed by Gary Garver's Control Chaos. Then at 9, it's the Asian Oprah, Dr. Marissa Pei. At 11, it's Randy Corgan in the Worker Power Hour. Then join KCAA every day for a brand new show from noon to 3. It's the new Jeff Santos Show. Don't forget Rick Smith either. The Rick Smith Show is now at 5 in the afternoon weekdays, followed by Tom Hartman. KCAA. We're making progress, and it gets more exciting every day.
Hey, welcome back to the E Factor. And our special guest today is Richard Perry. It looks like we have a call on the line, Richard.
Okay.
Whoop, there we go. Hello.
Hello,
Yeah, who may I say is calling?
this is Bob Sharp.
Oh, okay. You got a question for Richard?
I just wanted to say Richard took care of me really well when I bought a car from him, and he gave me a lot of great advice. I just wanted to say that.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob. And I got to tell you that part of this book is because of Bob. I didn't know he was called. Bob actually wrote a book he wrote many books. One is You Ought to Write a Book. This is Bob Sharp, and he is actually a best-selling author on Amazon. And one of the books he's written was called You Ought to Write a Book, and that inspired me to actually write this book.
Well, I'm glad that you did, because I'm not going to say anything, but Richard's starting to get a little long in the tooth, and he's got all this institutional knowledge, that is going to disappear when he finally, leaves the earth here. So,
Well, he's writing books.
yes, and congratulations for making him do that, because he's, he knows he's not that kind of guy, but now he is. This is a whole new world we live in. Anyway,
Yeah, of course he is.
all right. So, thank you very much for giving us a call. I'm sure Richard will give you a call, and thank you for calling in, because you took him by surprise.
Thank you, Bob Sharp. Good to hear from you, sir.
Yeah, do give me a call when you get out.
You got it, buddy.
Thank you.
All right. So there we go. So we'll start. That's normally what happens. Once we get a phone call, then we start getting additional phone calls. So if you want to call and you have a question for Richard, call us at 909-383-1000. And he just got an endorsement from one of the people he sold the car to.
That's great.
Oh, I mean, it is great.
And I didn't come here to sell cars. That's a byproduct of this, right?
Yeah, this is not. Yeah, this is not a commercial. This is not an infomercial for a VIP auto. In fact, you probably rarely even hear that. This is really about what Richard can do to help you in your journey for purchasing a car. In fact, one of the things he talks about is putting together your own network group. What was that all about? It's a whole chapter in here.
I call it the mastermind group.
Yes.
Well, mastermind group is just a group of people that obviously you admire that have specialties in that field. So if you know somebody in finance,
Right.
you know about finance, you know a mechanic,
Right.
right? You know a car dealer, right? So
Right.
those are 3 people you'd have in your group, and that would be the people you would call when you wanted advice on a certain vehicle before you went and bought the vehicle. So I call that like if you were in real estate, right?
Right.
You would have those. So have your group when it comes to car purchases, and it'll save you a lot of money having that.
Oh yeah, I know, and then we're getting another call, but that's interesting because normally real estate agents have like network groups, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's normally not somebody who's going to buy or sell a car, but how many cars does an average person buy in the course of their lifetime?
Gosh, well, I think people buy a car every 3 to 4 years in
Well,
their
there you
lifetime.
go.
So there you
that
go.
Could be 10 to 15 different cars.
Sure.
Hey, welcome to the show. Your name is? Hello? Did they hang up?
They hung up.
Oh my gosh. They'll call back.
Okay.
Yeah. 909-383-1000. I guess they wanted to buy a car from you right now.
That'll be afterwards.
And then once you said, "Oh, I'm not here to sell cars," she goes, "Hey, if it's a she, oh, okay, well, I give up. No problem." So, yeah. So right now, let's go back and let's talk about financing the car.
Good point.
Because I think everybody wants to buy a car. It's like buying a house, right?
Sure.
You see the house you want to buy, but you got to go to the mortgage guy,
Right.
and he tells you that house is out of line for you. Right. But in the car business, it appears to be different with car dealers. They're going to stuff you with the highest price car they can figure out, at least according to some of the things you said in the book. I mean, not all of them. I'm not saying that, but their job is not to look out after you. They want you to be a big boy and take care of your own situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're not taking responsibility for you over purchasing a car, right?
Right. What do you usually do? For example, if you go to a car lot,
Right.
you look at cars first. You get
Right.
all excited about the car, and the salesman says, "Okay, let's go for a test drive." You're all excited, and then you go in to find out how much down you need to put and payments. But wouldn't that be good to know that kind of up front before you leave the house, or at least have an idea about that? So a good rule of thumb is, for every $1,000 you finance, you figure about $20 for every 1,000. For every you're going to finance 10,000, it'd be about $200, depending on your credit. If your credit is subprime, you better add another $5 or $10 to that, right? It could be
Right.
much as that.
Right.
Also, the year of the car you're looking at. If the older the car, the shorter the term's going to be. So those are factors, and the interest rate's a big part. You talked about financing. For example, on a car, I'm talking about a car dealership. When you go to a car dealership, they have their own finance department, finance manager, so on, and they shop for you. Or they look for financing. They're going to look for what's best for them, right? Not always what's best for you.
Yeah. What do they call that?
The F&I department.
Yes. But they don't just sell you the financing. They sell you just about everything
Right.
under
but-
the sun.
Well, the
But
first
anyway,
thing
go
is
ahead.
that, but the other thing too, a lot of people don't realize, you can see what the dealership has to offer, but then you can also ask for an option purchase order. What that means is, okay, you're going to offer me, I'm just going to pick a number,
Sure.
7% interest on this
Right,
vehicle.
right.
All right, and they'll calculate the payments based on that, and some other things, but we'll get
Right,
into that in a minute.
sure.
But then wouldn't it be nice to say, hey, I'd like to have an option. I'll go ahead and go with that, but I still want an option for 5-10 days to get my own financing. Then you can take that purchase order, hand it to your bank, your credit union, say, hey, I need you to beat this deal. And then you can go
Wow.
back to the dealership and give them the cash and not be stuck with their financing. But you got to ask for an option purchase order. It's called an option.
Okay, option purchase order.
Uh-huh,
So, but are they going to let you sneak out of the dealership with that little piece of paper?
They will. Well, if they want to sell the car, right? And most of the time, people will stay with what the dealership has to offer. For example, some new car franchises, they may offer 0% financing, right? Well, you certainly can get that. But then take a look at, there might be a rebate that's quite substantial. Could be $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 rebate. You never know. And sometimes you might be able to do the math and find out, wait, I can go with my credit union, get their 3% or whatever they offer,
Right.
and take the rebate, and mathematically it comes up a lower payment for you. Not only we have a lower payment, but you also have a lower amount finance on that vehicle. So again, just know that. And then when you go in the finance office, you're right, there's financing, but then there's also warranty, there's gap, there's paint protector, theft protector, alarm systems, things that you need to know about that first. But then those are optional products that you do not have to buy, just need to know what those are.
Right, and a lot of times they say, hey, these cars automatically come with this, and you really don't have any choice. But the bottom line is, you can still buy that car and say, I don't want those things, and then they say, oh, okay, well, then I guess we don't activate that, right?
Right, that's right. We'll take it out. Yeah.
Yeah, we're taking it out.
Yeah. And again, there might be some things they didn't put in. They put nitrogen in the tires, right? But is it really worth $800-900 for that nitrogen in those tires?
Oh my gosh.
No, but I don't know. Again, whatever they charge.
I got you.
But just know that, and then ask for optional products disclosure. In other words, they'll show you, a reputable dealership will show you, here's your payment without these back-end products, and here's your payment with those products.
Right.
So again, it's nice to know that stuff up front. And big thing, ask for a option buyback contract. And here's why: if you do that, let's say you're not going to go to your credit union or bank, right?
Right.
But won't the dealership then do what they can to give you a good interest rate so they can keep your contract?
Absolutely.
They're not going to want to have it up too high because they don't want you to shop and have them get paid off.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Again, just something to consider, and that's in the book.
Yes, and that's how you can save between $2,000 and $5,000.
Actually, sometimes 10,000, but
As
again,
high as 10,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't work in that arena. Those are those expensive cars. You know what I'm saying? So, but up to $10,000. But yeah, like your point was made, is that you could get zero financing, but if it's loaded up with all these other things, your payment is going to be a lot higher. Right. And that zero interest is offset by all the additional things that you ended up buying. Whereas if you didn't buy those and got a 3% or 6% from the credit union, without those additional things, your payment's lower.
Right. Do the math side by side and take a look and see what's best. Wouldn't it be better to have a lower payoff, to owe less on that car?
Absolutely.
It would be better, right?
Absolutely. Sure. If you want to know more about how to buy a car without being taken for a ride, give Richard a call, 909-383-1000. That's 383-1000, area code 909. We're having some really, really good conversation about finance right now. And the other thing is, let's talk about finance a second. Well, what I want to kind of get into is talking about buying a new car, a reconditioned car, or leasing a car, and what options, because those are just three of the many options, right?
Sure.
So when you buy a new car, when you leave the lot, how much depreciation do you get?
Absolutely. The biggest depreciation is in that new vehicle right when it goes off the lot.
Right.
It does quite a bit. And for example, a new vehicle in 3 years can lose 50% of its value. That's also known as residual value. In leasing, they call that residual. Residual means what's the future value of that car.
Future value.
Right. So that's why I think buying a 3-year-old car is probably the best value. It's taking the biggest depreciation, and maybe 3 or 2 years. It's right in there in the car. It's taking the biggest depreciation, and many times you still have the remainder of the factory new car warranty on it.
Yeah. Hey, we have another telephone call coming in, so this is awesome. Hey, good afternoon. You're with Richard, the car. They call him the Hemet car guy. He used to have a in the newspaper back when newspapers were around. He used to have a column. Hey, so welcome, and who may I say is calling?
Hi, my name is Eric.
Oh, hey, Eric. You got a question for Richard?
Yes, I do. I'm interested in buying a car. What documents do I need to bring to the dealership to make the financing easier?
Oh.
And if I don't have a job and I kind of lie on my application, what would happen?
Well, first of all, don't lie. That's fraud, number one. And when you're going to go to a dealership and buy a car, bring obviously your identification. Bring your paycheck stub. If you're going to get financing, bring your proof of employment, which will be a current paycheck stub. it wouldn't be a bad idea to bring in proof of your residence, where you live, a current utility bill, water, trash, gas, electric. That shows stability, shows where you're at. That's just now, depending on your credit, the bank may ask for more items, but that's probably the three major things that lenders will ask for.
And if you're self-employed, you want to bring your tax return, your Schedule C, because you don't have a regular paycheck. Like, for example, all these Uber drivers. I mean, this is ideal for Uber drivers because they know that they're going to get a certain amount of cash flow, and so you're not really unemployed. You're just looking for new opportunities, right?
I see. Very, very interesting.
You know, I want to talk about the Uber you brought up, and also something that Eric said earlier. What if I don't have a job? Or what did you say? I lie? What did you say?
Well, he was going to lie on his application.
I would say, I mean, I could possibly put something on my credit application that maybe I do make money, but I'm not really employed, but I put something else down on the application. I was just wondering what would happen if the lenders found this out.
Well, obviously, one is the lender could call the loan back, will call the dealer back and say, this is, they're not there. So the dealership many times will have to buy that contract back. So it's called, many lenders have a first payment default. If you don't make the first payment, they find there's some fraud and stuff. They can make that poor dealer, I say poor, buy that contract back, even though the dealership didn't do anything wrong. So then the dealership, though, they can go after you. They can, you know, when it has to do with fraud, think whatever money you've given, that's gone. There's I definitely would advise do not do that. Don't say anything that's not true. Because it happens. We look for fraud in the industry. We see it. We catch it many, many times. But there's going to be one or two that slip through and they won't find out later. But that's going to definitely cause a problem for yourself. Now, you said something about Uber. We have some customers. They say, "Oh, I plan on driving this car for Uber."
Right.
I got to tell you, I'll tell you something. I wouldn't so much put that on the application. My only money I make is Uber, because then you're using that vehicle for commercial purposes. Yeah, that's not really what the lender wants to do. The thing would be, let's say you work at Ross Outlet or somewhere. Right. You have a job. You're applying with that, and you're going to do the Uber on the side. You're gonna do that. That's the way to do that, because then you're not using the vehicle for commercial purposes, because many lenders don't want that. Now, some will, but again, you're narrowing in. Maybe a dealership has 32 lenders, and they might have 2 that'll take it. But,
yeah, the interest rate is going to be substantially higher. Now, the other thing I want to point out, too, you said you're currently unemployed, but maybe you have a 401k or you have some retirement monies that are coming to you, or let's say you're even Social Security. You know, you can use those as the financing component of your of buying your car. So, hey.
So basically, I should be 100% honest.
Well, you can go to jail. I mean,
you should.
And provide all of the documentation.
That's correct.
Yeah, because that's called, I think that's called grand theft auto, right?
Well, when you look at the bottom of that customer statement or credit application, it says that this information I'm providing is true. Yeah. So when you sign there and you're lying, don't do that. It's going to cause you more trouble than it's worth.
Yeah, it's become a big issue in the.
And you can lose your car. All of a sudden, you wake up one night, hey, my car's missing. You call the police, my car's missing. No, your car was repossessed for falsifying information. And that's fraud.
Exactly.
You can lose your car for that reason.
I appreciate that, because I was wondering what to do when I wanted to come in to buy a car without having proper documentation of my income.
You got it.
Well, I think one thing you might want to do, too, is set up an appointment with Richard at VIP Auto over there in Hemet, and he can help you over the phone and give you some direction. He'll do that. And the other thing is he'll help you pre-qualify yourself before you even start the process of buying the car or looking for your financing. So I appreciate your phone call. Thank you.
All right. I appreciate you, and I will be making that appointment with VIP Autos as soon as possible.
Okay.
Thank you, Eric.
Have a good day.
Okay, good day. So if you want to make a call and ask Richard some questions, call 909-383-1000. That's 909-383-1000. So, yeah, that's interesting that you said about Uber, because a lot of young people now, that's their primary income source.
Sure.
So actually, they're a commercial.
You know, it's funny, but I said earlier, tell the truth. And I say, but you could leave something out. I mean, I would say.
Well,
if,
but I think
yeah.
the difference between what you were saying and what he was saying is Uber. You're talking about Uber as a side hustle.
Right.
So you're qualifying on your job. Let's say you're a
Right.
nurse or whatever, but you drive Uber on the side. But that's additional
Right.
things. But yeah.
And again, if a lender sees that, okay, they have a part-time job here, but their full-time job is Uber, they're going to know that, oh, they're using this for commercial purposes. You're going to be paying a higher APR. There's a higher liability, higher chances. Not to mention, that car's going to have a lot more miles on it than if it's just an everyday driver, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, we're going to talk about the tax benefits of that, but the other thing is you're going to have to get commercial insurance, not the regular homeowners insurance. You know what I mean? And that's a whole different animal in terms of price. So you're going to have a lot more expenses than you would if you just bought it as a daily driver or commuter or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. So. Okay. So the bottom line is we're trying to find. We're kind of looking at, we still haven't really gone over the issue. We talked a little bit about new cars, but why go to a used car dealership? But actually, used car dealerships are really reconditioned or recycled cars. They're not like they were back when I was a youngster in the 1930s, So
Ken, you're not that old.
Yeah, no. But what I'm saying is that the used car dealer is a lot more sophisticated than they used to be way back in the day.
Well,
I think.
Yeah, there's
I'm wrong.
There's additional checks and balances,
Yeah,
right? There's a lot of things we have to go through with licensing. With used car dealerships, for example, they'll have random checks by the DMV, make sure they have documentation correctly, and there's state board organization, there's DMV paperwork we have to do. And then not to mention, again, you have to make sure vehicles are smogged properly. So
Right.
One thing too about buying from a dealership, if you have a problem, you have somewhere to go back to.
Correct.
That's the deal. You can buy a car private party. And I'm not putting that down, but many times now you can't find them if you have a problem. And we can
Especially
get
if they
at-
stole
yeah.
the car and gave you the bad,
Right.
bad registration.
That's
and
our
ownership.
scam section, right? We'll get into that part,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Whenever you want
well,
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is that a used car dealer is really much more professional than they used to be back in my day.
Well, I would hope so.
Yeah.
And if they're not going to be there very long.
Exactly.
So look at the history of the dealership. Again, I look at reviews, Google the name of the dealership and see what other people say about it.
Yeah.
But don't make that the only thing, but see how are they involved with the community.
Well, you won't believe this, Richard. We have another call.
Oh, wow.
So people want to know how to buy a car without being taken. Welcome to the show. You're on with Richard Perry.
Hi, Richard. My name is Suzanne. I'm in the market for a car, but I just want to know, every time I go to a car dealership and they run my credit, it hurts it. My score keeps getting lower and lower. Is there any way for me to buy a car without running my credit?
Suzanne, great question. So here's the thing. Yeah, they can't give you accurate numbers, especially when it comes to financing, without knowing your credit, right? So you say, hey, I want to look at car, but I want you running my credit. If you went to a previous dealership and they gave your credit score disclosure, ask them for a copy of your credit application, known as also a customer statement,
Right.
and ask them for a copy of a credit score disclosure. Now, they may not give you your credit report, but they will give you your score disclosure. And they should give you a copy of that along with a privacy notice at dealership number 1. Then you go to dealership number 2. Here's my credit application. Here's my score. Maybe based on that, but you can tell them what's on that credit report. Have you financed a car before? Are you currently financing a car? Do you have any delinquencies or things like that? So they can't be 100% by just the number, because I've seen people with a 750 credit score that can't finance a car, and people with a 400 that can. And here's why. The 750 could have 3 open car loans and they finance it for 3 other people. Well, the problem is now the lender just, they keep doing what they call third-party purchases or straws, so they don't want to be that 4th dealer, right? Well, and then maybe they don't have the stability or the income, where someone with a lower score may have the other income, which I know I'm getting away from your question, and I apologize, because there's other things besides the score. And here's the thing. When you go to one dealership and to another, it's actually counted as one inquiry. when you go to, in fact, I believe Ally is the lender that put that notice out that explains that it doesn't change your score. You know what lowers your score? Not paying your bills. That's what lowers your score. Inquiries is a misnomer, really. Inquiries, having 5 or 6, 7 inquiries, you're shopping for a car, you're just shopping for a car. That doesn't lower your score. When you get lenders, for example, a dealership, oh, don't have anybody run your credit. This is the best we can do for you. Your score is going to go down 10 points if you do. The reason why they're telling you that, they don't want you out shopping them. So it's really not the inquiry doesn't lower your score. And there is, that's a good point. Thanks for bringing that up.
Let me also add in, you're probably talking about FICO scores for like buying houses and that kind of stuff. It does affect that, but it doesn't affect commercial credit. Consumer credit. So they're two different scores. Everybody thinks, oh, well, my FICO score is 790. Yeah, well, if you want to buy a house, that's great. But the other score that you have, which is what Richard's talking about, is 400 because you have like 5 open loans and you're behind on your, you have medical bills and some other things out there. So you have to be very careful because there's 3 levels of credit. There's the FICO, the commercial, and then there's the consumer. And they all have different scoring processes. So anyway, go ahead, Richard.
Right, Ken. There's 3 different credit reporting companies. There's Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. And they have 3 different score models. They have one for auto loans called a Fair Isaac Auto.
Yep.
They have another score. They have one for real estate. So it's 3 different ones. You know, it's always funny. I get people that come in, hey, I've got my car guru, not car guru, or credit guru, or whatever it is they ran. Yeah. And it says my score is, I'm an 800. Oh, wow, that sounds good. Then when you actually run the credit, you find they're a 580, and you're a 620. And they don't know. I wish we'd all would use the same score model. Right. I get it. Being that there's 3 different companies, 3 different score models, you really never know. But they're close, but you never know what it is. What do they do in real estate? They run all 3 and they grab the one in the middle.
Correct.
That's what they do. But
yep.
For example, we use Experian, and we only really pulled the auto score. It's called version 8 auto score. That's what we care about.
Okay, yeah. So is that helpful to you? Or?
Yeah, that is really helpful. I had no idea there were so many different types of credit, and I was really just afraid to run it again. I have my down payment, so I'm looking forward to getting an appointment at VIP Auto.
All right.
Yeah, and the thing is that be sure you call Richard because he can help you pre-qualify how much of a car you can really afford to purchase in your situation. And he's not going to make you buy a car from him, but he does it as a service. It's ridiculous. I've been to his place. He's talking to these people, and I'm saying, oh, you must have gotten some nice sales. Oh, no, the little old lady needed some little help on this or that. Richard is very helpful, and he will give you the number, and then you can go from there. Because a lot of people will be asked by dealerships and others to overpay for the car. And the car is only one of the many expenses that are involved. So you want to get a number before you even get to the point of trying to qualify yourself. So, yeah, give Richard a call over there at VIP Auto in Hemet, which, is an awesome place.
Thank you, Suzanne.
Will do. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Richard.
Okay, so now I want to talk real quick because we're running out of time. How much time? We got about 6 minutes left. So, okay. Well, let's break for commercial, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about
scams.
The end of the year.
Okay.
Taxes.
Okay.
And if you have any phone, if you want to call us at 909-383-1000. Richard's happy to take your call.
From the community bulletin board right off the kitchen table, it's Slam the Scam by the Yucaipa Police Department. Your cell phone rings, you pick it up, and there is someone on the phone pitching you, trying to get information from you. If it's too good to be true, it is. Stop. Hang up. You have no obligation to be polite. You didn't call them. They called you. Hang up. Come to Slam the Scam this Saturday. Join the Yucaipa Police Department this Saturday at 4 p.m. at the Yucaipa Police Department for an educational event on avoiding scams. Slam the Scam starts at 4 p.m. Saturday at the Yucaipa Police Department on Yucaipa Boulevard next to City Hall. Slam the Scam. And that's a message from the community calendar right off the kitchen table.
Hi, folks. It's Milan Vukovic from the Tahibo Tea Club. We just received our first shipment since the new tariffs, and because our tea is harvested deep in the Brazilian rainforest, we had to pay a 50% import tariff just to release it. Once we run out of our current inventory, prices will go up. Right now, you can still stock up at today's pre-tariff prices by calling us at 818-610-8088. 1 pound of original Pure Pau d'Arco Tahibo tea is $49.95, or take advantage of our multi-pack discounts such as buy 3 pounds, get 1 free. That's a 4-pack discount of 25% for $149.95, or buy 5 pounds, get 3 free. That's an 8-pack discount to 38% for $249.95. Stock up now. Call us at 818-610-8088 or visit TahiboTeaClub.com. That's 818-610-8088.
KCAA, the stations that leave no listener behind. Join KCAA Morning for an extra hour of coffee with Stephanie Miller now from 6 to 8 in the mornings, followed by Gary Garver's Control Chaos. Then at 9, it's the Asian Oprah, Dr. Marissa Pei. At 11, it's Randy Corgan in the Worker Power Hour. Then join KCAA every day for a brand new show from noon to 3. It's the new Jeff Santos Show. Don't forget Rick Smith either. The Rick Smith Show is now at 5 in the afternoon weekdays, followed by Tom Hartman. KCAA. We're making progress, and it gets more exciting every day.
Hey, welcome back. You've been listening to the E Factor. Our special guest today is Richard Perry, and we're going to go right to the phones here. We're starting to back up. This always happens at the end of so you need to call in now, 909-383-1000. We only have about 5 minutes left. Hey, welcome. You're talking to Richard Perry.
Oh, yeah, thanks. I've always been confused about the title of your show, E-Factor. I'm not certain. Are you like a union show, or is it like electronics?
No, it's an entrepreneur show. And entrepreneurs.
Yeah, good. Well, I could work in my question then according to that angle.
Oh, you could work in your question anyway. I'd figure out how. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, when you start looking at, I'm interested in economics, and the
you came to the right place.
Hyperinflation is a problem that happened in Germany between World War I and World War II, where the money became so worthless, it became more useful to just barter among people. Back in those days, there were actually photographs. It took you wheelbarrows full of money to buy a loaf of bread. Wheelbarrows full to buy a loaf of bread. I've got my grandfather's old stamp collection, and they were up to into the hundreds of millions of Deutschmarks, which were their dollars, to send a stamp, to send a to send a letter, hundreds of thousands of dollars of Deutschmarks to send a letter. And so we're in an early stage of that. And so entrepreneurs and business people are having to basically cut each other's throats in order to just make a simple transaction. So I'm wondering if you're looking at like local currencies or local barter systems or local communications to be able to supersede that problem. And actually, when you start looking these snap cuts that are coming up, that's money that comes in from Washington, D.C.
Right.
And most congressional districts in America don't equal out the money that they send in on April 15th.
Absolutely.
They never get back what they send in. And so SNAP is a way of actually getting some portion of that coming back in. And when Donald Trump cuts off the SNAP benefits, he's cutting off any possibility of getting money back into the
this is a fascinating discussion. In 2 weeks, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin and alternate currencies. So why don't you call back then and just stay in tune, and we love your point of view, and that's when the Volkswagen was created, was with that hyperinflation with Germany to reduce the cost of automobiles. But thank you for your call.
My pleasure. Yeah.
Okay, so Wow, we're getting a lot of calls. I want to get to scams because one of the things he was talking about was the money scam.
Right.
But
oh gosh, there's scammers use Facebook and Craigslist and forged paperwork to rip you off when you're going to buy a car. Just be privy of that. In my book, there's some of the examples of scams,
right.
And I've had some come in, and I just go, and I had one kid. I say kid. He's in his 40s. You know, when somebody's in the 40s, when you're as old as I am, you can call him a kid. Comes in, pulls up in a car. To me, I'm looking at. I see about a $42,000 vehicle. He says, "Hey, I bought this car for $24,000." I said, "That's a great deal, from what I see, as long as everything's good." He says, "Somebody's going to see you. I think something doesn't seem right." Right when he handed me the title, I realized it's a fake pink slip. And I ran search it. Turns out the car was stolen from a rental car company. And it was posted on Facebook for sale. And this poor guy had, all the blood came out of his face. He said, "That's all the money we had. I was just trying to get a deal from my family. And man, I messed up. I don't even know how to tell my wife what I just did."
Yeah, and the other thing is he potentially could be arrested as well.
Yeah,
because stolen property.
He turned to the authorities, gave him all the information he had, and God, I pray he was able to get his money back. But he got put together like a, like a cheap
with
suit.
the internet, it's a lot harder to catch these guys. Once they've got your money, they're gone.
And they're gone. They posted on the internet, and then all of a sudden they're not there anymore. You can't find them. And there's always a story. Well, I'm selling it from my sister or a family member or someone or something like that. Just be careful of that. The scams out there. If the deal seems too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. It's not right.
Oh, absolutely. And then the other thing is, if you're selling a car, let's say on a Craigslist or whatever, be very careful about where you show that person the car. Even if the person appears to be good, buys the car from you and everything, but they look at your neighborhood and they see your house, and now you become a potential burglary victim. And I mean, these people are outrageous. I mean, in my neighborhood, they broke into 10 mailboxes. You know, those big mailboxes with like 10 or 15 different people. And then you got to go to the post office to get your mail. I'm going, what in the heck?
Yeah.
I mean, those days are over. So a lot of scams out there, and maybe one thing we need to do, Richard, is maybe every week we could do like a 2-minute VIP auto report kind of thing, like you were doing.
Scams look out for.
Yeah,
Sure.
And other things as well.
There's a lot of them. It's also it's a chapter in my book and explains what scams look out for. And when I hear about them, I'll look online and find that's been repeated across the country, and it's quite a deal.
You know, I really goofed up too because a couple of those callers, I was going to say, Richard's going to be happy to send you a book. All we need to do. So go to VIP Auto, call them. Richard, if you had called us on the show, just ask for the book. We're going to give away 3 books. So the first 3 people that call Richard over there at VIP Auto will get a copy of his book. So it didn't even cost you for that. You can, if you're not one of those 3, you can always buy it on Amazon, right?
That's right.
Okay, and it's a great gift for anybody who's deciding that they want to give a car, for Christmas. And I was going to get into all the Section 179, the 6,000 pound situation, and all that income tax stuff. Yep. But we're just running out of time. I mean, we've had a lot of calls. If you want to make one last call, 909-383-1000, and quickly ask Richard your question, and then I'll make sure you get a book. So anyway, so Richard, any last minute things you'd like to talk about?
It's tough. Everybody's trying to save a buck, right? So
and that's what that last guy was.
And the big deal, you just want to save time, money, without losing, your livelihood.
Well, what's unbelievable about today is it's easier than ever to make money, online, and also with AI and all the things that are going. And I wanted to talk to you about the future of AI in the automobile industry, but we're going to have to save that for another time because we are out of time. So, Richard, why don't you tell people how they can get a hold of you?
Hey, VIP Autos in Hemet. You type in VIP Autos in Hemet, VIPAUTOS.net. Or call us at 951-652-9500.
Okay, and next week, the Cool Vet will be here talking about services that the disability for veterans. And then after that, our returning super host, Cornelius Bryant, talking about the E factor and what he learned in Italy. So stay tuned. Ken Powell subbing for Cornelius Bryant and the E factor. Thank you for tuning in.
The Legacy. Southern California's KCAA, the #1